What's good, Brody?
Another episode of T.A.T.U. Bringing in
five.
five episodes.
Five.
That's just thinking about when it was a concept, and now we're 5 episodes in. Like, other people might not see that as a big stepping stone, but I see it as a big stepping stone. Just because I think so many people that have things that they want to do, but they never do it.
Yeah.
And
well, there's plenty of things I want to do that I haven't done.
We're not even talking about that. We're not. I'm talking about business ventures or things, art ventures that people have the concept and they talk about it, and never do it. And now here we are, 5 episodes in.
We are doing it.
Doing it well.
To 5 episodes.
5 episodes in.
How was your week?
It was slow, man. It was a slow week, dude. I feel like my week goes, that just drags on and on and on. And then my weekend is here and gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Monday's about to be here in 20 minutes. Yeah, man.
So what I've tried to start doing is start doing stuff throughout the week. So not waiting and anticipating the weekend to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be proactive and do things throughout the weekend, like, see people, hang out with people, and just live life to the fullest, man. Because you never know when your day is your day, or when someone that's special to you, when it's their day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you really gotta take advantage of the 24 that you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Before we move on, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that. I was looking at it, and it's almost 50% of our views come from people that are unsubscribed.
So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, delete my number. Unfollow me on Instagram.
And don't ask me to vote on your little Inked magazine competition.
Don't ask me to shout out your album. Don't ask me to promote none of your shit. Alright? Just keep that same energy. Alright? That's
Well, since we're making rules, if you were president for a day, and you could issue one executive order, and then after you leave office the next day, that executive order holds, no matter what it is, for the rest of time, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Wednesdays, nobody can wear pants.
What? What?
Why are you laughing at me?
What's the concept? What's the reasoning?
So you ever heard the expression, "You caught me with my pants down"?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means like you caught me while I was in the middle of doing some shit I shouldn't have been doing.
You caught me exposed.
Yeah.
You caught.
Yeah.
Right? So if on Wednesdays nobody can wear pants or anything, actually it wouldn't just be pants, it'd be no garment.
Everyone's naked.
From the waist down, yes. You would see the true version of people. Right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people I wouldn't want to see the true version of.
I want to see the true version of everybody. I want to see who you really are.
Look, man.
I
understand you want to see me with my pants off, but
pause. Pause.
Wait, what happened to your
pause?
What happened to
Pause.
your rebellious stance on the word pause?
Stop. Okay, I hate the word pause,
and yet you're saying it.
But in that instance, I felt like that was a very pausable moment.
Okay.
Okay, because you were taking that way to it. No.
I was just the natural progression of your thought process. I was just
my
following
thought process.
I was just following it.
Listen, no, you weren't. You took it and ran with it. My thought process was simply about exposing and seeing people for who they really are.
And you think the best way to do that is to say no pants on Wednesdays?
No pants on Wednesdays. Because Wednesday is the middle of the week.
Uh huh.
It's hump day. It's the day.
Hump day.
It's what Is the roughest day is like it's close enough to the beginning of the week to where you're like still going through the beginning week stressors, but it's close enough to the end to where you're like, almost the
there.
weekend.
Yeah.
Almost there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, all right, boom. Everybody, you can't wear pants or drawers. Bare bottom out, baby. Let's see who you really are. Let's see what you really got.
All right. That's interesting. In a million years, I would not have guessed that would be your executive order.
Okay, so what is your executive order?
Look, man. I would mandate. I would establish a law that mandates that they create stores, facilities strictly for the purpose of ordering lottery tickets, and then banning the purchase of lottery tickets from corner stores, convenience stores, and gas stations. Because I swear to God, if I gotta sit behind Miss Darcy for 15 minutes while she repeats her fucking numbers to the cashier 16 times, I'm just trying to buy a 12-pack. My arm's getting sore. Like, hurry up, lady. And then she gets the numbers wrong. She's like, no. 16.
17.
I hate that
38.
shit, bro. I get so frustrated. And then the worst part is, she's done, right? She finished. She gets her ticket and she moves on. And then the next person starts running their numbers, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! At least open up another fucking cash register, because maybe I'm just getting old and bitter. But it's like I got shit to do. I got places to be.
I think that's a product of where you live, because where I live at, where people ain't running numbers, bro. People not Miss Darcy.
She don't live out there,
Bro, she not going to the cash register asking for numbers, bro. She getting her little pack of hot dogs and hot dog buns and coffee creamer and keeping it moving.
She getting her glizzies.
Bro, I don't know what type of people you live around.
Yeah, you do. You've been here
You're
long
right.
enough.
Okay. So I do know. So that strengthens my comment that I think that's a product of where you live. But I understand why. Speaking of lottery, did you see what the Mega Million is at?
Nope.
129 million.
Ain't that like low for the Mega Millions?
First,
don't they get up to like the 600s?
Time out. I don't care if it's low or high for the Mega Million, the quadruple million. Bitch, that's 129 million.
Well, you're only going to see like 50% of that. So that's 65 million, 64.5 million.
That's 65 million more than I got right now.
Okay.
You know what I would do with 65 million?
Buy us a new studio.
Facts. Bro, 65 million. I could do so much with 65 million. I can change my life, the people's lives around me. Like, 65 million ain't no small. And
what's the most ridiculous thing you would buy? The most absurd thing you would buy if you won that jackpot? Like the stupidest thing. Where there's no wisdom behind it, just you being ignorant.
I don't know.
I would build a house. It would have a bridge, a glass bridge, to go from one section. Like, in order to get to one section of the house, you would have to go through this bridge.
Okay, that's stupid.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
When it comes to money.
Okay.
And then to get around the property, because it would be on a large plot of land, you would have to ride a go-kart.
If I could cut the tape right now, I would. I mean, it's hard for me to think about what, because I honestly, for me, I honestly go straight to what responsibly would I do with that money? Like, how would I responsibly turn that 65 million to 100 million? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would think about that too. But no, I'm being stupid.
I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I would only do responsible things with it. False. I'm one of the most ignorant motherfuckers you know. You know what I'm saying? So after I did all the responsible stuff, I would do some ignorant. Like, I don't know. I like roller coasters. So I'd probably buy an amusement park. Because I don't like waiting in lines. So instead of...
I feel like amusement parks cost more than that.
Maybe. I'll figure that out when I get there.
You can just buy a roller coaster and put it at your house.
I would definitely. Oh man, no, that's a good one. Buy, buy a roller co- But that's only one roller coaster. I need at least six.
Okay.
Six good ones. I can get a good like day's work out of it,
Okay.
and then I can rent it out to other people.
6 roller coasters. That's legit. I like that.
I'm a oversized kid, bro.
Yeah. I don't think that. I mean, 6 roller coasters. I don't think you can really look down on me for my go kart property.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can.
Not when you're buying 6 roller coasters. It's just a different form of amusement.
But it's a go kart.
The bitches are fun.
Yes. Have you ever been to those indoor go kart joints that go like 55 miles an hour?
No, but I did live next to a guy who professionally raced them, and I would go to his races. And afterwards, after the races were over, it was free roam. Like anybody, you could just drive on the track, and he would let me drive it, and that bitch would do like 90. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That ain't safe.
He was really like there was a full like race suit you wore, and then he was like a really thin dude, so they actually had like plates you would see at the gym like welded to the frame because when he would turn, his cart would flip, so they had to weld like weights to the frame.
Down, yeah.
But I mean, they had bank turns and that, bro. That shit was exciting. It was a lot of fun. And those are the go karts you need to get around my property. The 90-mile-an-hour ones. Those are the ones.
What is going on in your property that you need to get around?
Safaris.
So you're the Tiger King, huh?
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Speaking of Carol Baskin, shout out to Nick. He just got a cat. He just rescued a cat, and he named the cat Carol Baskin. So shout out my boy Nick Venegas.
So you can never visit him?
No, because I'm allergic. But it is what it is. He named it Carol Baskins.
That's a good one.
I thought was stupid because I hate.
It's stupid, but it's funny.
But it's not really that funny, but it's kind of funny.
My cat, the one that I owned for a day, its name was Nipsey.
Yeah, you had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would never see me.
Well, it's not just you. I have a lot of family that are like deathly allergic.
Oh, really?
To, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't think about that, huh?
No, I didn't.
Selfish.
Well, it's not that I didn't think about it. It's like I didn't know y'all were allergic.
That's the most selfish and unselfish thing ever because you rescued a cat, which is unselfish, but you didn't think about the rest of your family and friends, which is very
because I didn't know y'all were allergic. If I would have known, then yeah, it would be selfish. But, I mean, the cat's dope because, like, the foster person I got her from, or got him from, like, had another buyer lined up. Mm-hmm. And I already bought all his shit. So he got sent out the door with $200 worth of swag, and he went to a new home, and it was fucking set. Like,
so they made out pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand the people's like fascination with cats. Like, I mean, like a dog, you can like pay fetch with, you can sick it on people. Like,
I think it's just the person. It's like they have like an independent personality, and then they can be goofy. And like I grew up with cats, and I had a cat that had. Her name's Callie. She's still alive somehow. And she had posable thumbs. Like, so she had an extra toe on her front 2 paws. And I taught her to box. So she would, like, hide behind my dad's bowling bag. And I'd walk in the door, and she'd jump out and just square up with me, and we would box. And then she would be like, don't fuck with me, I'm leaving. They're moody. It's just like having another human, almost. That's low maintenance.
I can't get down with cats, bro.
I don't mind them. They're cool, but I'm not a cat person. I'm much more of a dog person.
Shout out to Archer.
Shout out to Archer. half pit bull, half pug, all love.
How'd you end up getting him?
So this chick that worked at the bar behind my condo, Ashley. Shout out to Smashley. We called her Smashley. Shout out to Smashley. She had a pit bull and a pug. And the pit bull was a male. The pug was a female. And the pit bull raped the pug. And
that's not.
My dog is a rape baby. So I went to the bar. I'll always go to the bar. You remember that bar? Like you'd walk there from my back door. You could walk there and 2 minutes.
Had some good times with that, bro.
La Herradura. And yeah, she's like, hey, I got puppies. I got them for free. I was like, what you got? She goes, 3 girls and a boy. I was like, I'll take the boy.
A pit bull on a pug, man, that is rough.
It was the second time it happened. The first time she had a litter of 1.
She didn't think that, like, maybe I should break these up. Maybe
Oh,
my
no.
my pit bull is a little aggressive.
Nah, I had Archer since he was 5 weeks because
Archer's dope.
you're not supposed to take dogs away from their mother until they're at least 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the mom was so miserable, like, because she just gave birth to these giants, and she wouldn't feed them or nothing. And I decided that, taking him away early from his mother was better than leaving him in the environment that he was in. Now, those dogs would just like shit on the floor and like just it wasn't a nice place for a dog. So, but yeah, Archer's the shit.
That makes me think of a argument that I have with people all the time about abortion, which some people have a strong stance that abortion is not cool. I shouldn't use the word cool, or not okay in any instance, because you're killing a human being, which I get. But I don't think it's so black and white, dude. Like, it depends on the situation. Just like you just said, even in the instance of a puppy, of a dog, bro. Like, in some instances, it's better to remove that human from that situation, which is a toxic situation, than to let them grow and fluster in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but that just made me think about that. It's how it's not so, like, people try to make that conversation so black and white when it's not black and white. It's really dependent upon, like, if a baby is a product of rape, if the mom had the baby at a young age, if, you know what I'm saying, there's just so many different factors that go into whether a parent, a mom or dad, is able and willing to take care of a child. Is like, I don't know.
I understand that there's a lot of people where it's black and white to me.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising because you normally not like that. But go ahead.
It's black and white to me. I mean, this kind of like rolls into the realm of politics a little bit, but
So, okay, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to talk
yeah,
about it. All right.
yeah.
What did the
But so, have you been hit up by any of our esteemed viewers regarding some things that they'd like to hear discussed?
One person, it wasn't it was sort of kind of in the midst of me having a conversation with them. They wanted me to talk about the expectations placed on relationships,
like any relationship or a romantic relationship or
a romantic relationship. So, like, a relationship between a man and woman specifically.
Okay.
And about how there's these expectations placed, but the person placing these expectations aren't voicing those expectations to the opposite person.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, if I'm your girl, right? I say, hey, babe, I need you to clean this off, right? Now, in my mind, I have an expectation of how that should be cleaned. But I don't tell you that. I just say, babe, go clean that. You clean it to the best of your ability in what you think is good, sufficient. And when it's not up to the standard or which I would have done it, I get upset at you. And I think that's what happens with a lot of relationships is that there's a unbeknownst or unspoken expectation placed upon a person, and then when that person doesn't meet that expectations, there's issues.
Okay, so I mean that's like in the moment things. That's like a case by case.
I
So
mean, you get yeah. I mean, everything's case by case.
well, when you talk
But
about expectations in a relationship, there's like people go into a relationship like without encountering any specific event, whether it's cleaning this or
I mean, you
communicating.
could translate it that too. I think it's the same thing. It's like okay, people have this expectation that okay, this is how this person is. This is who this person is. This is how this person operates. But I have this expectation or this timeline in which, or these wickets, Navy talk, these wickets that this person has to hit. And when this person doesn't hit those wickets, then now I have an issue. But that person never knows that they have to hit those wickets.
Well, you got to let them know. You got to.
So we're on the same page, right?
Yeah. Like expectations.
So
but that's any relationship. Like I can't hold you to a standard, right?
if you don't even know that there is a standard,
yeah, there's very basic standards that are just understood. Loyalty, truthfulness.
You can't say that.
Why?
You can't say that
Why?
because that's depend on the person.
No. So
what me and you see as unspoken truths or unspoken wickets, not everybody sees that.
no. So there are some things that are unspoken between us that not everybody sees. I agree.
Yes.
But there are some very basic ones.
No.
That
no.
So who goes into a relationship and says, "Hey, we're gonna go whether it's romantic or otherwise, we're going to do this." I have no expectation of loyalty. That doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make sense to you because you don't think in that fashion. But that's like me saying, who goes in a relationship and doesn't communicate? That I think that is a very basic
I would
basic
agree.
concept of interacting with anyone.
How can you have a relationship if you're not communicating?
But communication is something that a lot of relationships lack. They literally have relationship books about communicating.
I disagree. I don't think the issue is communication. I think it's comprehension. So I think like you communicate something, right, and the person you're communicating to doesn't understand that the language you're speaking. So because maybe they're not, maybe
that's a portion of it, but I don't think that's underlying. I don't think that overline. I think the overline is like
because
there's a lack of communication. Because I mean, to touch on what you just said, I definitely think you have to tune your voice to who you're speaking to. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak to you in the same fashion in which I speak to somebody else.
I think you tune it to the relationship.
Yes, I mean, which in turn is you tuning into who that person is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's any interaction, whether it's like to the simplest form of just having a different language barrier in general. Like I can't speak English to someone who doesn't speak English. I can't speak harshly or directly to someone who doesn't think in that fashion. I have to kind of like over explain things or whatever.
Right, but if you speak directly or harshly to someone who doesn't do well with that form of communication, and say because they don't do well, they don't get the message you're trying to convey, you're still communicating. The issue's comprehension. That's the point I'm making.
In some cases, but I think more time than not, it's simply to the fact that they are not communicating at all.
Well, here's my thing. When it comes to communication in relationships, silence is consent. So silence is a form of communication. It's if I do something that you don't like and you don't tell me that you don't like it, you're telling me you're okay with it. If you don't voice, you see what I'm saying? So it's still a form of communication.
That's an assumption.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We make assumptions every day.
But assuming is not communicating.
No, I'm saying your lack of objection tells me that it's okay. Whether you actually feel that way or not is a different story. But if you don't tell me there's an issue, if you don't tell me that you don't like something, like my thing is, people in general, they don't like something, they speak up. People complain all the time.
Yeah.
It's human nature to complain.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm doing something and you don't complain, that tells me by process of elimination that you're okay with it.
That goes back to my point. It's not always black and white. That's a perfect example of how it's not black and white. It's not if you don't say anything that means it's okay, because some people, by them not saying something, that could be a defense mechanism, that could be an insecurity mechanism, that could be all these different mechanisms. So it's not always black and white.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say it's black and white, but I do think like not every single human on earth, but I do think there are some basic tenets of relationships that are expected. Like, I expect you not to lie to me. I expect you not to make me look stupid. Right? Especially because if we have a relationship, like, in some way or form, your name is attached to mine. And there's things that I wouldn't want you to do that would taint my name. Mm-hmm. So because I know that, those are things that I'm not going to do to taint your name. Because when you enter a relationship, it's a reciprocal thing. So there are some now don't get me wrong, there's a shit ton of expectations out there that aren't basic, that do need to be communicated openly and expressed. But there are some basic things like and this is why I'm adamant about this. Is because when people say I'm loyal to this, that, and the third, and it sounds like they're bragging. And you don't get in my opinion, you shouldn't be bragging about basic shit that you should be doing. Like, oh, I pay my bills. Or I take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm loyal. I never betrayed my bros or my wife or my mother or whoever. Like, you don't get to brag about that because that's the norm. That should be the norm.
Okay, I agree, but I'm play devil's advocate. Who says that is the norm? Or who says it should be that way?
Human decency.
Says who?
Like the basis of any.
Where's that written? Where's that? Who came up with that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
just treat others how you would like to be treated. The golden rule. I mean, it's inscribed.
Says who? Says who? Like who?
All the Abrahamic religions, every scripture.
Who says that?
Like
that is the rule book.
Society.
Which is my point. Like, just because the masses say something should be this way, or just because a big portion of people say it should be this way, doesn't necessarily mean it has to be that way.
No, so it's just like, as a society, we agree on certain things, right? There's a lot of shit we don't agree on.
There's a lot. There's a lot of shit that society has agreed on that I don't agree with.
Sure, but morally speaking,
depends. Okay,
I'm not saying
you can't even go morally.
I'm not saying just because we've agreed on it, that makes it okay. But it's a flawless. It's a flawless when the agreement has flawless consequences. For instance, you should treat people how you want to be treated. That's a simple thing.
To you. But that may not be a simple concept to someone else.
Okay. But my point is, that's a simple concept to the majority of people. So we could play these games all day where we say, where you say, I bet I can find someone who genuinely disagrees with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's true. But it's not productive, because if you just do that all the time, you never get anywhere in society, period. Right? That's why society works the way it does. It's vastly imperfect. Right? There's so many flaws. Mm-hmm. But it's better now than it ever has been. Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
When you look at
society is not. Society has camouflaged. Society still has the same core problems
Mm-hmm.
value issues that it
Mm-hmm.
had back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
they are just camouflaged in different ways.
Okay, so you're right as far as there being systemic issues that have been around forever, 100%. But when you look at any metric, like from violent crimes to poverty to to um, childbirth mortality rates to hunger to like all these things, do they all have problems with? Absolutely. Are there systemic reasons for it? Absolutely. But we're trending in a direction. We still have a long way to go. No matter what issue you look at, there's still a long way to go, and a lot of shit that needs to be changed to get there. But compared to where it was, it's better when you look at life expectancy, all these metrics that you would look at a society and say how well off are they, and you look at things like life expectancy, child mortality rates, hunger, poverty, like all these things. Yes, those things exist, but not at the level that they once did,
Which I'm
and they're
not, I'm not,
trending.
which I'm not denying. But what I'm saying is, instead of those topics and those issues being the focus point, those issues and topics have transcended into something else. If you know what I'm saying, like, so okay, life expectancy may not be an issue, but the numbers and from so the focus went from life expectancy to being something else. So it's kind of like you solve one problem, but then you create another, or you solve one problem and you push those numbers to another. You push those numbers and those fallacies to another topic.
What I think happens is when you improve one number, like say life expectancy,
Mm-hmm.
right? You improve it to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now
The focus,
these other numbers,
yeah,
they 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 can take up a bigger portion of the spotlight,
I agree.
right?
I
You
agree
see what
with
I'm
that.
saying?
I agree with that.
And then you know do something that has a positive effect on those numbers. It doesn't fix it completely, but a positive effect on those numbers, and then another set of numbers will take the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 7.5 billion people in the world and all these differences between cultures and societies, there will always be issues, right? But comparatively speaking, because we're far from perfect, comparatively speaking, the society we live in now is better than any society that has ever existed,
Which is relative.
which is relative, right? So if you don't if you're the type of person who prefers to live off of
By the
nature
way,
and out in the
I
wild,
love this conversation because I'm playing devil advocate the whole entire time, and
yeah.
I'm loving it. But go ahead.
So like if you're the type of person that likes to live off nature in
Mm-hmm.
the wild, and you're just that kind of like rugged whatever, you just like living off of Mother Earth, then yeah, you have a very large argument for no, we're not better than we have been, right? But and it all comes down to technology, right? Whether it's technology in medicine, technology in transportation, technology in healthcare, technology in communication, like all of these things improve our lifestyles
Mm-hmm.
and and have the effect of um, lengthening our life expectancy. Um, Agriculture, technology improvements cut world hunger and poverty by a tremendous amount. Like, and that's my point. So to bring it back to where you originally started with this with relationships, like society has some, not 100% of society,
Mm-hmm.
but the majority of society has these things that are agreed upon, like rape and murder is bad,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, that are based. Now there are plenty of people who say, no, I should be able to murder whoever I want.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or there's some incels who ain't never got no ass who said, no, I should be able to have sex with whoever I want, right? Like that, like these people exist, but as a society overall, we agree that these things are bad. My point is that we have also agreed that there are some basic things like truthfulness and loyalty and trustworthiness and not making one another look stupid that are like basic tenets of any relationship. No one, and when I say no one, I mean with the exception of a very, 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 very small minority. No one goes into a relationship saying, okay, you better make me look stupid or this thing's over. Like, you better lie to me or else I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't happen on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can go ahead and say, well, there's a person that believes that, well, you know what? There's also a person named Michael Jordan who won 6 rings. It doesn't mean that everyone can win 6 rings. Right? There are outliers no matter where you look in any demographic. So it's not, for the purposes of a logical conversation, it's not productive to just say, well, there's people out there that would disagree. Well, yeah, there's people that thought the Holocaust was a good idea. Like, there's always going to be people that disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my only point. Is like there are some basic things that go unsaid. Like, we never had a conversation, you and I've never had this conversation with any of my family or friends where I've said, look, if we're going to continue this relationship, I need you to not lie to me. It's because it's obvious. I need you to not make me look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. That's my point when it comes to expectations in a relationship. There are some things that are just obvious and shouldn't have to be said.
To end this episode, I would like to tell all our viewers that voice your expectations. The obvious may not be so obvious.
Oh, that's true too.
Because some of y'all out there messing with people that's not cut from the same cloth y'all cut from. So what you hold as true, they may not hold as true. So to weed those anchors out, voice your expectations, voice what you think is the standard, and if they can't get with it, keep it moving. Don't try to fit a square peg in a circle hole.
I do like that. And you do make a good point, because even though, like I said, I think there are some things that are given, it does absolutely no harm to voice them anyway. So that's absolutely true.
Facts.
Absolutely true. You ready to end it already? All right. I feel like I rambled this entire episode, and I'm not happy about it.
I'm glad, because I'm normally the one that's rambling.
Like, I'm not happy about it.
I'm glad we finally have an episode where you were the one that was rambling. I'm absolutely, because I feel like there was coming a time where someone was like, "Oh, the white boy never says a whole lot."
Really?
I felt like that was coming. I haven't heard it yet, but I felt like that was coming.
See, I feel like we've done a pretty good job at. I obviously haven't counted, right, or kept track of time, but I feel like we've done a good job of.
No, we have a good dynamic.
Yeah.
But not definitely. I'm the one that talks the most.
Yeah.
You're the transition guy.
Okay.
You when the conversation is getting to an end, hey, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But today, you felt passionate about this topic that we were talking about, so I was like, I'm gonna let B Rabbit go.
Oh, don't do that.
B Rabbit,
no.
Hey, I like this time.
Right. Check this out, Papa Doc. All right, so Clarence.
Clarence living behind both parents.
And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. Oh man, I am passionate about that though. You're right, because there are my thing is if you can only spend so much time talking about the obvious, to where you're wasting time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you can't go into any arrangement with a few givens, then you're wasting time settling on the givens.
That's one thing I've been struggling with is understand. I've just, obviously for this segment I've been playing devil's advocate, but I'm definitely a person that what's understood doesn't have to be explained, right? But I've come to realize that, dude, like the way we think, the way we operate, isn't so common, bro. It's like crazy. It's like almost it hurts my head. I'm not gonna lie. To the concepts and the things that we hold true and value to, like there's a lot of people that don't think that way, bro. Like, and I was exhausted just thinking about it right now. But I don't even want.
Yeah, there's definitely people. I don't really see them in person anymore. Years ago, I would have, right? I have years ago, but in person nowadays, it's not everybody that I mess with is kind of on the same page.
Everybody that I mess with, yes. But everybody I come in contact with, no.
Okay, but if you're not like, if you don't have a relationship with them, don't let the shit bother you because you're not going to suffer from it.
It's not.
You just gotta let people. You know the saying, "Let them be great." You should let them also not be great.
The thing about it is that I have a child now. And so it's not so much because I know how to weave through the snakes, or weave through the people that don't matter, or weave through the people that are nuisance. You know what I'm saying, and not productive. But I ain't gonna lie, dude. It weighs on my mental thinking about like my nieces and my daughter. You know, you can teach them the game all you want. You can preach them the game, but are they gonna follow it? You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people that have been taught the game, that have been given the tools, but they just don't follow it.
Well, I think,
and I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow when it comes to my seed. You feel me?
I just feel like you're gonna have a lot more success investing that energy and that passion into teaching Ellie the game than you are going to have trying to change the world. Because there will always be scumbags.
Yeah. It's just hard, bro.
And there's some lessons that she's gonna learn the hard way, but she's gonna learn them. And she's your kid, so she's not an idiot. She's gonna be fine.
That's so hard, bro. That shit weighs on your mental. It weighs on my mental, at least. That's one of the things that I struggle with, that I'm trying to get over. Is just like, I want to change the world so bad. I want to be like, I get an example of waiting in a fast food line all the time about how there's one way in, one way out, and in order to get to the line to where you order, you have to pass a line in which you grab your food to leave. And in order for those people that are grabbing their food to leave, there needs to be a gap in the line. But people will pull up and close that gap and keep people from leaving, from ordering their food, from that grab their food. Not realizing the only thing in their mental is like, oh, I'm trying to get to the line to order my food. I'm trying to get to the line to order my food. But not realizing, bro, you're going to be that person that grabbed their food and now they can't leave because someone's blocking their way out.
I see what you're saying.
So, which is inevitably holding you up from ordering your food. So now you're pissed off that the line is taking so long, but you were a product of the initial issue of blocking the way out. So I was thinking, I'm like, bro, if people can't figure that simple concept out, then I'm getting riled up just thinking about it, bro.
Let's go have a drink.
Let's go.
We out, baby.
We out, baby. T.A.T.U, baby.
Subscribe. Tell your mama about us.
Tell your mama, your auntie, your girlfriend, your wife. We out.